speaking of completely ridiculous, let's talk about Madison Cawthorn. I have to say we have not covered a lot of these stories.
Right.
Because ultimately he's one member, extremely cringe member of Congress. But now he's implicated potentially in a sort of insider trading scheme. And so there have been a whole litany of things that have been going on with Mr. Cawthorn. So let's just go through the list here. First of all, you know, he had that whole thing, which we did cover, where he, like, you know, said, oh, you wouldn't believe the orgies and the cocaine use that I've been invited to. And he's one of these who's positioned himself as, like, super Christian and super, we gotta, you know, the real men have to come back and this sexual deviance is terrible. That's the type of, like, way that he's framed and positioned himself. So somebody who clearly hates him released these photographs of him. Let's go ahead and put this up on the screen to Politico that shows him cross-dressing. You see some women's lingerie here, clearly some sort of public party scene. And I am the last person in the world to criticize someone for taking, you know, embarrassing or risque photos. However, I also didn't position myself as some sort of, like, Christian fundamentalist, you know, Puritan type of individual, and he has. So I think, you know, listen.
Apparently he's taken on a cruise ship. Whatever.
Cawthorn, he can do whatever the hell he wants in his personal life. I really don't care, but don't be a hypocrite about it. Okay, so that's number one. Next up, he has, for the second time now, been found and detained ultimately for having a gun, trying to bring a gun onto an airplane.
Let's put this up
on the screen. All right, officials say a loaded gun, has been found in North Carolina U.S. Representative Madison Cawthorn's carry-on bag at an airport security checkpoint. It's the second time that he had been stopped with a gun at an airport in the past 14 months, subject to a fine. I guess apparently
He says he forgot it in his bag. But twice? I mean, come on, man. Twice? Like, how does that happen?
Right. And I have to think that it would be a pretty extremist position, the people who are super comfortable with anyone bringing a loaded gun onto an airplane. So
weird.
That happened. He also last month, for the third time in 5 months, was cited by state troopers for a traffic violation, including driving with a revoked license. So that's another thing that happened. But this is the incident that really caused us to want to cover all of this. Go ahead and put this, I think it's Washington Examiner report up on the screen. Madison Cawthorn implicated in potential insider trading scheme, experts say. All right, so here are the details. They say Cawthorn may have violated federal insider trading laws as he hyped up an alleged pump and dump cryptocurrency scheme. Multiple watchdog groups told the Washington Examiner. Worth noting, Washington Examiner is a conservative outlet, so this is not some, like, liberal elite media hit job here.
Oh yeah, and the reporter is actually a guy I know a long time, Andrew Kerr. He's a good dude.
Solid. I mean, this is obviously a very, like, solidly reported piece. They say on December 29th, Cawthorn posed at a party with a hedge fund manager and ringleader of the Let's Go Brandon cryptocurrency, a meme coin set up in the wake of the chant mocking President Joe Biden. Cawthorn posted, LGB legends, tomorrow we go to the moon. The next day, that coin ended up performing extraordinarily well. Why? Because NASCAR driver Brandon Brown announced that the meme coin would be his primary sponsor of his 2022 season, causing that coin's value to spike by 75%. Multiple watchdog groups told the Examiner that his Instagram post suggests he may have had advanced non-public knowledge of that deal with NASCAR driver Brandon Brown. The watchdog said the post, combined with Cawthorn's statement that he owns some of LGB coin, warrants an investigation from the DOJ and the Securities and Exchange Commission to determine whether the lawmaker violated federal insider trading laws. So this cryptocurrency price goes through the roof after this deal is ultimately announced. However, then NASCAR ultimately rejected the sponsorship deal. Unidentified insiders that owned an outsized share of the coin dumped all their holdings at once. The coin completely collapses, and so it goes from being worth $570 million to being worth nothing.
Wow.
And so Cawthorn is caught up in all of this because before this deal is announced, he's posting, hey, you know, I love this coin. I've got this. I own some of this coin. It's going to the root through, what did he say, going to the moon.
Yes.
And then the very next day, this deal is announced. So at the very least, it looks extremely sketchy. He, of course, denies wrongdoing or his office or whatever. But it's catching the attention of some of his Republican colleagues.
Yep.
This is his fellow North Carolinian, Senator Tom Tillis, who already, it should be said, has endorsed against Cawthorn.
Yeah, he hates Cawthorn.
In his primary.
Yeah.
And he says, put the tweet up on the screen, "Insider trading by a member of Congress is a serious betrayal of their oath, and Congressman Cawthorn owes North Carolinians an explanation. There needs to be a thorough and bipartisan inquiry into the matter by the House Ethics Committee." So that is where things stand, Saagar.
Yeah, I mean, look, it looks bad. You know, this is also why you shouldn't be pumping any coin whatsoever. I mean, and if you
When
are
you're a member of Congress, that in and of itself is gross.
Look, yeah, exactly. And by the way, I'm pro Bitcoin, but even whenever I see Bitcoin congressmen who are like, go Bitcoin, and they own some Bitcoin, I think it's an issue. So like, I can say it. I'm not a public official, and even then, I always disclose. I'm like, just so people know, I'm into Bitcoin. So this is one of those things where I always think that at the very least, public disclosure is needed. But yeah, when you're a public official, an elected official, and you're personally netting whoever knows how much money off of this, that's a real issue. I do think there needs to be
an investigation. He did use his authority, they say, as a lawmaker to introduce a resolution in the House in February that would deregulate cryptocurrencies.
Yeah,
so he has been involved in trying to promulgate legislation that ultimately would personally financially benefit him.
And I would probably even support that type of legislation as long as I
don't be
take a look at it. But
yeah,
exactly, you cannot be conflicted whenever you're a member of Congress. So just look, we're going to call this out anytime that we see it. I think it is important that it came from the Washington Examiner, and I do think that it does merit an investigation. And just in general, I mean, it just seems like his life is a mess right now. I don't really know what's going on. I don't know how you forget a gun in your luggage twice, but look, I would just generally say conduct yourself in some better decorum, Congressman. You're already running in a tough re-election. Somebody said that he's trying to run for re-election on hard mode. This is a gamer term. And it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't exactly know why anyone would choose that, but good luck to you.
Cable news is ripping us apart, dividing the country, making it impossible to function as a society, and making it impossible to know just what is true and what is false. But the good news is they are failing and they know it.
That is why we're building something new, a new mainstream, a healthier one, something more trustworthy, something that we are going to need in one of the most pivotal times in American history. We are building up here for the midterms, for the upcoming presidential election, but we need your help. So if you can help us out by becoming a premium member today at breakingpoints.com, we're trying to change America for the better and the entire world.
So what are you waiting for, guys? Go to breakingpoints.com and sign up and help us build a new mainstream.